Well, Shevchenko scored a hat-trick against Barcelona. He made his debut with the Ukraine when he was only 18. There were big rumours he was going to go to Italy, but they've dug deep to keep him at home, Derek.
Meanwhile, for the Russians, coached by Anatoly Bishevets, himself a Ukrainian. So many connections in that regard with this match, with Russian players born in the Ukraine, and even in the case of the Ukraine, a couple of players who are native Russians. Andrei Konchelsky's wears number 8 for Russia. He falls in the category of a player born in the Ukraine. He signed this season with the Scottish team Rangers.
Well, if he had it to do over again, he may not be playing for Russia. He might have been playing for the Ukraine, but that's another story. Surprise here in goal. Karin is back. He plays with Chelsea in England. Hasn't played since Euro 96. He's been out of favour to have him back in today for his first game. And Qualifier, well, we all know about the kind of dribbling skills this man has and the way he can score goals. And Elena Chep, well, he'll be the man in the middle who'll set up all the opportunities. This looks like a very, very good Russian team.
Euro 2000 qualifying. The Ukrainians, as we mentioned, in their yellow and blue outfits, with the Russians in white for this occasion, with that light blue trim. Incredible tension out there. And we hope you'll stick around with us here on ESPN for all the drama. Euro 2000 qualifying Group 4, Derek Ray, Tommy Smith. We're at the Olympic Sports Complex in Kiev. Interestingly enough, Tommy, the Russian coach, Anatoly Bishevets, has been quite open in saying that he believes the Ukrainians will really have a go at Russia in the opening 20 minutes, and with that in mind, they may be a little conservative.
Well, you can see that they're going to use 3 strikers, it looks like, Derek, so they really have signalled what their intent is going to be. They're going to have an all-out attack, and they believe, I mean, they just don't want to beat Russia today, Derek. They want to wipe them off. I mean, they've had this feud for a long time, and there is quite a few Russians here as well.
Just waiting for the official word that we can start. It will be the Ukraine attacking the goal to our left in the first half. A fiery atmosphere here in Kiev. The stadium could hold over 80,000. Not too many empty spaces to speak of. We're underway. The Ukraine beginning their campaign in Euro 2000 qualifying. They try to attack down the flank. Hussein looking to establish Shevchenko and Rebrov. And of course, so much extra tension here because back in 1992, after the demise of the old Soviet Union, only one World Cup qualifying place was up for grabs among the emerging nations. And Russia took that spot to the chagrin of the Ukraine.
Well, this is the Ukraine's opportunity, Derek, to prove the world that they were wrong and giving that spot to Russia. They feel that they're going to get revenge today. They've built it as a civil war, not just a game today.
I think that is accurate. The Ukraine attacking the goal to our right. The Russians in the white shirts playing from right to left. First minute of action. And the free kick. And you can be sure that every free kick in the Ukraine's favour will be cheered heartily.
Well, this place will really erupt if Shevchenko or somebody can score a goal early for them.
Shevchenko with a short free kick. Gazovsky is there, the hard-working number 9. With support by Mikitin. Volodymyr Mikitin. 8 starters in this Ukraine side. Play for Dynamo Kiev. Mikitin. Away at the vital moment that time by Semak. Second chance for Mikitin. Getting tangled up over on the far side. Onopko doing the covering, the number 7 there.
Well, you can see the Russians are not in any hurry at all, Derek. They want to make sure they stay in this game for the first 20 minutes. They don't want to get blown out. They don't want to make any mistakes. They're just playing it nice and cool, figuring they may get the Ukraine just a little bit frustrated.
Dimitrulin, this directed pass. Was that time Shevchenko trying to have a go at the Russian defense.
Well, the amazing thing is that Kiev have been fit to hold on to Shevchenko. As we see our first yellow card goes to the Ukraine side. You're going to see the tough tackle coming in here. There it is, very, very late, and it just comes in. It looks like Kosovsky is the man who was coming in late. There was a couple of tough challenges there.
Hussein was involved as well, the blonde-haired midfielder. As play grinds to a halt once again. Free kick to the Ukraine. They struck it out to the near side towards Holovko. Shevchenko trying to work it down toward Rebrov. And it will be a throw on the near side to the Ukraine. Shevchenko getting the job done. Andriy Shevchenko. This is his 22nd cap. Got to weave in field. And it bounces out harmlessly for what will be a throw to the Russians. Yanovsky plays in France for Paris Saint-Germain. Will take it. A strong tackler and good in the air. The man to have on the national team. Anopko. Good skill by the veteran. And this is more promising from the Russian point of view. Haven't seen an attack from them yet. And Lanichev, and a bit of a fumble by Shevkovsky in goal.
Oh, he was very lucky, Derek. He knocks the ball down, and luckily for him, there were a couple of players there who could clear it out.
Now the Ukrainians turn to go forward. This is Rebrov, the speedy striker. Trying to direct it all the way out to the left. The run was being made by Skachenko, the number 7. Actually plays in Russia with Torpedo Moscow.
Well, Rebrov is not going to be a big danger coming out that far, that deep to pick up the ball, Derek. I mean, that would be what the Russians would love him to do all day, if he's picking up the ball around the centre circle.
Golivanov, veteran striker, trying to cut it back for Russia. That strong defense again. Just confirmation moments ago that Kosovsky was the man who went in the book. Actually dyed his hair since the last time we saw him. As down goes Shevchenko. It's the free kick.
Oh, you're going to see coming in here Shevchenko, just as he turns around, he gets a little bit of a touch here with the first man coming in, and then the second man just runs over him. And Opko held him up. That's what they're going to try to do with him all day. You don't want him to use his speed and his ability to get through.
Free kick once again. Rebrov this time taken out. What a 1-2 punch that is, Tommy. Rebrov and Shevchenko for the Ukraine.
Well, both of them can score goals, and more importantly, Derek, they complement other very well. The fact that they play on the same club team really helps them out because they know exactly what they're going to do.
Nikitin was trying to play it in. They got the break of the ball again. Rebrov, but stout defending again by the Russians. And Rebrov is certainly a tough man to pin down. Kosovsky. This is Hussein, and he might have a go. Well, harmless in the end by Andriy Hussein. And wide of Dmitry Harin in goal for Russia. Tommy mentioned Harin back in favour now, having been dispensed with after Euro 96. And in the same category, of course, Andrei Kanchelskis.
Well, I thought all along the way they played Kanchelskis in Euro 96, Derek, just wasn't to his advantage. I mean, for me, when he played with Manchester United, it was the best time he ever had when he was used as an out-and-out winger. Russia used him as a kind of an outside defender as well as an attacker in Euro 96, and it never really worked out.
See on the end of the bench there, Jozef Sabo, the coach of the Ukraine. Many people believe he's, to be blunt about it, a puppet coach, with Valery Lobodovsky, the advisor, the real man with the power. Almost 7 minutes on the clock, a goalless start to this game. It's European Championship qualifying Group 4. You see Anatoly Bishevets there, just to the right, the end of the bench. The Russian coach. The Russians trying to take the sting out of the game. Yanovsky is strung it around confidently. Semak, who's lining up on the left side of midfield, can play as a striker. Alenichev misses out him. Semak. Cut out by Nikitin for the Ukraine. Careful play, Varlamov.
Oh, just nice possession play by the Russians. They'd like to get a goal if they could, Derek, but they're more intent on just stifling the Ukraine now, taking the crowd out of it, letting some of this adrenaline flow down.
And there is certainly much adrenaline to speak of. Rebrov tries to play it in. Helped out that time by Dimitrulin. Rebrov again. Scored 8 goals for the Ukraine. Play on, says the German referee. A chase for Kovtun. Now Minkal for Russia. So they opt for the direct approach. A test here for the Ukrainian defense. Semak with a short pass. They might have a go here. So the first real shot of the game for Russia went bobbling wide of Alexander Shavkovsky in goal.
Oh, I think
a deflection? Yes, it did.
He's struggling out there, Derek, and the reason why he's struggling on this is watch on the way in. It's going to come off the boot of a player right in front of him, and he gets almost caught. I mean, if that ball had been on target, he wouldn't have been able to stop it. That's 2 opportunities he's had, and he hasn't come up with the ball in either case.
It'll be Igor Kolyvanov to take it. 30-year-old who plays in Italy, Serie A with Bologna. Before that, of course, with Foggia. All the big target players are up, including Chugainov, the defender. Hesitation on the part of Shavkovsky, but he got away with it. Nikitin did well. Shevchenko trying to streak away from Kanchelskis. And finally, the Russians recover in midfield. But the pace of Shevchenko and Rebrov not to be underestimated. Moving toward the 10-minute mark, and an intriguing start to this contest. It's booted away by Vasyuk. He was an injury doubt coming into play. Vladislav Vasyuk. Dimitrulin. Tidy work by the Ukraine. And going with the long ball just to vary it. And the header that time coming in from Skachenko.
Skachenko seems to have the ability to roam wherever he wants to, Derek. I mean, he's been popping up on the left-hand side. This time he pops up on the right-hand side. Nobody in support of him in the middle, but Shevchenko and Rebrov are playing way too deep to be effective, Derek.
Kovtun's pass. So much happening, of course, in Euro 2000 qualifying today. Let us bring you up to date with what else is going on. And look at that in Group 8.
Can I sing a few bars of When Irish Eyes Are Smiling?
I thought you might want to do that without even getting my permission. 2-0 there.
2-0. Dennis Irwin and Keane.
And meanwhile, the Scots being held 0-0 in Vilnius.
That's not a good result for Scotland, although they do find it hard to score. And Armenia came up with 3 big ones, Derek.
That is in the same group that we're concerned with, Group 4. That was Andorra's first competitive match, at least at competition level.
And they did manage to score a goal, so that's at least something achieved for them.
We'll continue to keep you abreast of the situation in the other matches as we move along here. Free kick goes to the Ukraine, and Dimitrulin will take it. Good solid performance last time out by the Ukraine. They beat Georgia 4-0 as Dimitrulin feeds it in. Away by Anopko. Well, teams like to play on the counter-attack. And here's evidence of that now from Russia. Alenichev is there. Trying to work with Kolyvanov. But away comes Husi. Dynamic midfielder. Plays for Dynamo Kiev. Has that in common with 7 other teammates in the starting 11 for the Ukraine. Shevchenko looking for the decision to go his way. But the referee from Germany wasn't impressed.
Russia doing a good job, Derek, of coming back and marshalling the defence right across the edge of the 18-yard line.
Husein's pass was swept away without much ceremony by Koftun. Back out to Mikitin. This is Kosovsky. Width provided by Dimitrulin. And a wasted ball in the end. A big boot downfield by Yanovsky. Didn't really pay dividends.
Mistake.
Scything challenge. And the referee's going to intervene again.
Oh, I think he should get a card. Yanovsky should get a card, does get a card, and you're going to see why. First of all, he makes a mistake in giving the ball away, and then he comes in with a wicked challenge on Dimitrulin coming forward.
So 2 yellow cards in the opening 13 minutes. That one for Igor Yanovsky. And he joins the Ukrainian Vitaly Kozovsky in the book of the German referee Markus Merck. It's absolute bedlam here in Kiev. And it will be Rebrov to take the free kick. Looking for options. And at the back post, there's an option. And that's a goal. Popov was the man who climbed in at the back post. It's all Ukrainian jubilation.
Did we say it was a mistake by the Russians to give up a free in that situation? It certainly was. Rebrov knocks it across. It's going to take a little bit of a flick on here off a boot. And look at the man coming into the back post, and he gives the keeper no chance. Keeper's coming out on him. Popov is coming in at the right angle. There's the little bit of a flick on. That's what kept the play alive. And as the keeper goes across to cover Popov, there's the bulge in the corner. The old onion bag, and the Ukrainians are off and running.
Serhiy Popov, the man who plays for Shakhtar Donetsk, gives the Ukraine a magnificent start here against their old foes. The game of the century, that's what it's been billed as here in Kiev during the last few days. And now we'll see what Russia is made of.
Oh, this is the one thing that the Russian coach stressed he did not want to do. He did not want to give up a goal in the first 20 minutes. He wanted to keep it cool. It looked like he was achieving his goal, but the Ukraine, that was a mistake at the back, the free kick.
Outside, Kalivanov just stripped it into the illegal position. I want drama here in the opening few minutes. This Euro 2000 qualifier from Group 4. We're at the Olympsky Sports Complex in the city of Kiev. And Popov with the goal for the Ukraine. In the 14th minute, a header at the back post that caught the Russian defense napping. Chugainov. Reminder that the Ukrainians are in yellow, Russia in white. Along with Tommy Smith, I'm Derek Ray. Nice to have you aboard. We begin our Euro 2000's qualifying coverage.
Well, it goes on for quite a while before they get to the finals, Derek. It seems like the World Cup is just over, and here we are qualifying for Euro 2000.
It's a good pass by Varlamov. Might come back to Semak. Mikitin was back to clear it. Onopko. Victor Onopko plays in Spain with Oviedo. Nicely robbed again by Skachenko for the Ukraine. They try to switch sides. Husein.
Oh, Husein drifting more into the middle. We thought he would be out on the left-hand side, but they're implying strictly in the middle today, Derek, and it's worked out very well. Big, tall player, a lot of ability and a lot of range.
A reminder to join us for Dutch League football on Monday here on ESPN. Our match of the week, Sparta against Roda Kerkrade. Check your local listings for First Division football from Holland. They couldn't keep it in play that time. The Russians, there's the goal scorer, Serhiy Popov.
Well, he was coming back doing a little bit of defending this time, Derek, so he's proven he can play at either end of the field. One of the few players that's not from Dynamo Kiev on this team, and he comes up with the goods.
The Ukraine trying to put itself on the map after 300 years of Moscow rule.
Well, I suppose you could say Moscow rule even is what has happened with the football, Derek. Most of the good teams in Russia come from Moscow, so it's really been Moscow rule.
This could be an opportunity for Shevchenko. Trying to hook up with Skatchenko, the number 7 there. And takes the lift out of the crowd just for a second, but they're back in it again. Osin's pass. Very much the central defensive midfield force. Kozovsky. Shevchenko. One wonders how long Dynamo Kiev can keep hold of Shevchenko and Rebrov. So many top clubs around Europe interested. Patient build-up. Hussein. Alan Shearer has scored for England in the second minutes against Sweden. What a start there in Group 5.
What a start is right, and Georgian, Albania, no score. England haven't beaten Sweden in about 63 years in Sweden. That could be a big result for them today.
Free kick. A little overly aggressive then. Onopko going in. Shevchenko was the man who took the fall. Victor Onopko. Tough customer, most capped of all the Russian players. And 63 times in total for the national team.
Well, he was a big loss last year, Derek. He got injured in that first game against Italy in the first half, and if he had been in there, it might have been a different story. First time he missed a campaign with a game in a long, long time.
Karin directing the traffic. Karin in there, ostensibly because goalkeeping has been a problem for Russia over the last few months.
Well, I'm surprised that Russia hasn't put a bit more pressure on the keeper at the opposite end, because the Ukraine keeper, Shevchenko, doesn't look like he's all that comfortable today, Derek.
There's Sabo there. Must be happy with the state of affairs so far, but a long way to go here in Kiev. The speed of Rebrov and Shevchenko coming to the fore again, and Nikitin is in that menacing attacking position on the left. Kanchelski's trying to hound him. Bishovets and company looking on. Nikitin might well feel he should have done better, but he did get the corner kick in any case.
Well, what the Ukraine are doing, and doing it very effectively, is they're dropping this man back into his own half. Rebrov is going into his own half, Derek, picking up the ball, and he has the speed to come up the field, and they've already pushed Nikitin forward at that stage.
Rebrov for the corner kick. Comes back out on the side of the Ukraine. The fans glued to the action here.
They're really rising and falling with the kick of the ball, aren't they? I mean, once Russia gets the ball, it goes silent. As soon as the Ukraine gets the ball, it picks up again.
Yes, every throw-in is being cheered here today. And a free kick. And this is danger territory. Skatchenko taking the tumble.
Well, Hussein can certainly hit him from here as you see the ball coming across into the middle. Played through, and just a matter of a tackle coming from behind Derek and giving up a free kick in a terrible situation. I mean, Russia should have learned what happened the last time to give up a free in this situation, but they don't learn, and
the tension mounts. It's 1-0 to Ukraine. Everybody behind the ball for Russia here. Now there's the drive. Desperately close. Both Shevchenko and Dimitrulin at the controls.
Shevchenko hit it, Derek. He was going for that top left-hand corner, and he just screws it a little bit over the top of it. He just doesn't get it down low enough to beat the keeper. The keeper was scrambling. Had the ball been on target, I think he might have been in severe trouble. Let's see as the ball comes into him. Look at the way it just cut over that top. He would never have gotten to it had it been a foot lower.
They sense that the Russians are vulnerable here.
Well, Kanchelskis hasn't been able to get involved in the game. I don't think he's had a touch on the ball yet, except once when he came back to play a little defence. They haven't been fit to get him involved in an attacking role.
Yes, he's been pinned back, almost playing as a right-sided defender as opposed to the free-flowing, swashbuckling right winger that he can be. Chugainov. This is 21st cap. Plays for Lokomotiv Moscow. Trying to loop it over the middle. Difficult to imagine that you could beat this well-drilled Ukrainian defense that way, though. Offside flag is raised. Anopko. The Russians in the white shirts, if you've recently joined us here on ESPN. They trail 1-0, and things just not going to plan so far. All the politicians in attendance today, the president of the Ukraine, big fan of international football, Leonid Kuchma. And of course, Boris Yeltsin, the Russian president, was really the man who appointed Anatoly Bishevets to the job just a few months ago. Called for a top-class coach, and they got him. Here's a sweeping counter-attack again. Good numbers here for the Ukraine as they try to slide it through. And could it be a second goal? Yes! Skachenko. This is unbelievable stuff.
Incredible stuff. Brilliant run down the middle. The ball is just screwed into the centre and coming through. He just clips it over the keeper. Great run by Vaschuk coming up the field. He carries the ball. His distribution is not the very best in the world, but it does get there. And Shevchenko puts it in. Look at that. Right over the keeper. He waits on the keeper to commit himself. But give a lot of credit on that to Vaschuk coming up the field, Derek. He carried the ball, and as you said, what a counter-attack. I mean, the big man just gained strides all the way up the middle.
The man who plays his football in Russia with Torpedo Moscow makes it 2-0 to the Ukraine. Serhiy Skachenko, after earlier Serhiy Popov had made it 1-0.
М'яч забив Сергій Скаченко, номер 7.
There's confirmation from our public address announcer.
Oh, Skachenko has been playing very well, Derek, and he took that one. We said that he seemed to have the liberty to move around because most of the time he'd been operating on the right. And all of a sudden, as that counter broke, he broke across from the right. He broke in behind the player carrying the ball, and then he continued on his journey and left him in the perfect position to take the pass. Wasn't the best pass in the world. It looked like the Russian defender got enough of it to stop it, but it just had the legs to carry forward to him.
Arin gets there in the nick of time. Well, the Ukrainian fans have been eyeing this fixture ever since the draw for Euro 2000 qualifying was made. They believe that they were, in fact, the most important ingredient. The old USSR menu.
Well, it's amazing how many of these fixtures did come up when you look at Yugoslavia. I mean, so many teams come out of the breakup of Yugoslavia. Croatia, Macedonia and Yugoslavia all end up in the one group too.
Yanovsky, one of two players to be booked already in this game, the other being Kosovsky of the Ukraine. There he is, Kosovsky. This is Euro 2000 qualifying on ESPN. Group 4 from the Olympsky Sports Complex in Kiev. And what a start by the Ukraine. Goals by Popov and Skachenko. They have the Russians on the ropes.
Well, it was almost like the Russian coach knew what was going to happen, Derry, because he kept saying he didn't want to blow the game in the first 20 minutes. So he's more or less blowing it in the first 25 minutes. I mean, you would imagine that the way the Russians started out, that they had it under control. But the Ukraine are just flying out there and just so much better than the Russians and running off the ball. That's their key.
Excellent teamwork displayed by the Ukrainians. Tremendous atmosphere. There's a flashing drive. Play rages on. We see the effects of the smoke bomb evident on the field. One correction to the Ukrainian lineup, Tommy. Serhiy Konovalov, who was supposed to be on the bench, is actually in the lineup wearing 9. So that's not in fact Kazovsky. I was a little fooled by that because it didn't seem to be that Kazovsky had blonde hair. Well, that must have been a very quick dye job. So in fact, the number 15 was the player who was booked earlier, Serhiy Konovalov. Kazovsky is on the bench. Konovalov, the 26-year-old who plays for, surprise, surprise, Dynamo Kiev. The tricky Shevchenko. Skachenko. Met with the challenge from Popov. The Russians almost falling over each other here. Cut out effectively again. Little work at the back by Hussein.
Oh, Hussein now has drifted out to the spot that I thought he would occupy, Derek, out on the left-hand side. They used him very, very well in the middle, and obviously now they feel comfortable with stretching out their defence again now that they've gotten the 2-0 lead.
Nikitin's throw. Hussein comes to collect. Konovalov. Hussein. The Ukrainians can certainly afford to play this way now. Just keep hold of the ball, frustrate Russia as much as possible. But they don't want to drop back into a defensive posture. Onopko can play as a sweeper or wide defensively.
Oh, he's not really sure where he's playing today, Derek, but he's better start playing a little bit. He hasn't played a whole lot in this first 29 minutes, and they have to have him involved if they're going to do anything.
Well, a clip of the heels that time. The man fouled was Semak. Join us for NFL action, the National Football League, live on ESPN. We'll bring you the Oakland-Kansas City match. That's Oakland against Kansas City live Sunday. Check your local listings. The Raiders and the Chiefs. Skachenko. High bubbling header. Well, Shevkovsky held his ground. It was a bit of a push anyway. The defender going forward was Yuri Kovtun.
Oh, Kovtun got a lucky break on the ball there, and then he pushed the keeper. Look at that scoreline. That's all they're interested in here.
So they flash it into the evening sky. Around 7:36 local time here. These Ukrainian attackers coming in waves now. Hussein.
Well, it just seems like they're so much faster than the Russians out there, Derek, and so much more committed.
Clumsy tackle, really, by Dimitrulin. The man taking the fall was Alenichev, who's been almost invisible. He's supposed to be the main playmaker for the Russians.
Well, you'd expect him to be setting everything up. Everything should be going through midfield between Alenichev and Kolyvanov. It hasn't been able to. And if you were going to go outside, well, Kanchelskis is out there. They haven't been able to get the ball to him either. So they have a couple of major problems here, and that is that they cannot get their big men involved. And Semak goes down. He gets a knock.
Sergei Semak, 22-year-old who plays for CSKA Moscow. And there will be a free kick here to the Ukraine.
High boot there.
Holovko, the captain, just deciding to run over it. And he'll let Shevkovsky do the honors. Konovalov losing out, and Onopko trying to find Kolyvanov farther forward. And Kolyvanov just hasn't had the necessary service to date.
Oh, here's one reason why, Derek. There is so much pressure. Even Minko, who had started a run at the back, trying to cut his way upfield, he's just kept out of it by the Ukrainians. Ukrainians not allowing any space, and they're putting out a lot of pressure in midfield.
13 minutes left to go in first half play. It's the Ukraine 2, Russia 0.
The Ukrainian wave is going strong here.
Tchaikovsky just gets it away after getting the feed from Dimitrulin. And the referee whistles. Markus Merck there in Germany giving the free kick the way of Russia.
Well, the one thing is a long time left in this game yet, and Russia has a lot of firepower, Derek. If they can just get the side to start moving. There's been no movement at all on their side. They're quite a dangerous side.
Here's Alenichev, the choreographer in midfield, and that was better. The idea, at any rate, trying to unleash Semak.
Dimitrulin makes a timely tackle on the ball and just scoots it away. Flag may have gone up.
Yes, indeed. You've recently joined us here on ESPN. Goals by Popov and Skachenko. The difference between the teams. The Ukraine leading 2-0. You might think that that's a surprise, but this Ukrainian team on paper very strong.
Well, they were fortunate not to make the World Cup qualification at the finals, Derek. I mean, going out to Croatia, and then we all saw how Croatia did so well into the semi-final. Although, if you were with us earlier, Croatia came down to earth with a bang today at Lansdowne Road when Ireland defeated them 2-0.
Skachenko it was who scored the second goal. Popov the first. Moscow coming from a free kick. Back post header, the second, a sweeping counter-attack. With the Russians outmanned, outgunned as well. Ball came off the boot of Valery Minko last of all. Be a throw right at the corner flag for Shevchenko.
Minko's having a tough time over on the right-hand side, especially with Mikitin coming forward. He hasn't been fit to contain him at all. Minko's another of those players, Derek, that had been out of favour for a while. He hasn't played in a couple of years, got the call back again today.
Dmitry Harin certainly a hope to avoid picking the ball out of his own net twice in the opening 25 minutes.
One of the international brigade that plays for Vialli at Chelsea. There's a game there to call it Find the Englishman on that team. Nobody has been able to yet.
Free kick it is this time. Goes against Skachenko. And what a difficult group this is on paper. During the halftime interval, we'll take a look at all the sections and rate them 1 through 9. I think this is certainly among the most awkward. The two favorite teams being Russia and France. The French will play later today. We'll have that match for you live here on ESPN in Reykjavik against Iceland. Where's the defense? Mikitin with acres of space. And Skachenko in the middle. All cut out by Varlamov.
Varlamov, they're using him. He's wearing number 11, Derek, but they're using him as an extra defender coming back. Mikitin is causing all kinds of problems coming up on that left-hand side. And Minko just has no answer to him out there. He hasn't been fit to keep close to him even. Never mind to get tackling him.
Semak. Confronted by Vaschuk. Experienced defender. Alenichev struggling for space. 25-year-old midfield technician. Onopko. Alenichev. This is Yanovsky. Being pursued by Hussein and Yanovsky. And still Yanovsky. Just trying to poke it through perhaps to Kolivanov. And delayed too long in the end.
Oh, Dimitrulin, Derek, has committed some unbelievable tackles in there. Just getting the foot to the ball. His timing has been picture perfect today. That's a couple of them now.
Yuri Dimitrulin playing beside Alexander Holovko. This very dogged Ukrainian defense. Chugainov's pass. Onopko. He's biding his time. Hussein doing the closing down. That pass by an Opko, give Hussein credit for putting him off. They really are harrying the Russians at every opportunity.
Well, that's a key. I mean, the pressure is being kept on them at the back, and the Russians are not getting any time to set up. Russians like to come out of the back. They like to feed the ball into midfield, have a look around, see what's happening. They're not getting time today. You could see Opko there. No time on the ball at all, and he just give the ball away.
Kanchelski's nowhere to go. And Opko with Minko. Kanchelski's went flying, and quite honestly, he took a dive. The referee knows it. So Bishevets does as well. It'll soon be Champions League time here on ESPN. Join us for live coverage on opening day. The defending champions Real Madrid will face Internazionale. Check your local listings for live UEFA Champions League coverage here on ESPN.
Mr. Super and Mr. Ronaldo. What a way to start.
Couldn't be much better. The game, it appears, will now be held in Seville, as opposed to the Bernabeu.
Of course, the reason for that was all the confusion, the goalpost being pulled down at the game last year. What was against Borussia Dortmund? Game held up for about 70 minutes, so Real Madrid have to play. It was supposed to be the first 3 games, but I understand they got a cut down. It's just the first game now.
Little dummy that time by the Turbid referee, Marcus Murk. There's a free kick, though, to Elenichev and company. Varlamov going into reverse gear. Chugainov just about sums up the first half for Russia. 6 minutes to go. And they have a major problem to solve, Tommy.
Yeah, they certainly haven't. And one of the problems that they're encountering out there is they're not sure where Shevchenko or Rebrov are playing. The Ukraine are doing a great job of drifting one of them back and pushing the other forward. When one goes back, one goes forward, Derek, and it's working out perfectly. Look at who's picking the ball up now in his own half of the field, Shevchenko, and when he pushes the ball forward, Rebrov has already taken off. It's a good ply, and it's worked out very well for them.
Baschuk across the defense. Holovko. It's his 22nd cap. Nikitin, one of the big stories of the first half. He tried to release Popov then. Popov playing just a little farther forward than Nikitin, both left-sided players.
Oh, Nikitin showing a lot of skill, a lot of courage, and a lot of determination out on that left wing coming forward. And he's just waltzing round tackles, Derek. It's almost like he's invisible out there. They don't seem to be picking him up at all.
There he is, Nikitin. Carving out the throw and banging it off, the frustrated Kanchelski's. Well, Kanchelski's admitted before a ball was kicked that he perhaps had mixed feelings about this game. Himself, a Ukrainian by birth, opted in common with several players in 1992 to throw his lot in with Russia. He did, however, qualify his remarks by saying that, well, you can't turn the clock back. And I think once a Ukrainian, always a Ukrainian. Josef Szabo, actually of Hungarian descent, born in the western part of this country.
You kind of the same feeling you'd have if you were playing for England.
I would say so. No comments as it's cleared away at the vital moments. That time by Timi Trulin. Gets it back again. Yanovsky lost out, and here's the counterattack. This is where they can be dangerous. Rebrov collapses in a heap and wins the free kick. Semak went charging in.
And that's what they've been so effective with. When Rebrov can come back and pick the ball up like that. And even when he doesn't, this man here coming from the back has also aided out in that swift counter-attack. Doesn't look like the prettiest player on the field, Vaschuk, but he certainly has speed when he gets the ball at his foot, Derek.
Good swift play again. Kovalyov trying to cut it back. Anatoly Bishevets, man in charge of Russia, but born here in the Ukraine. Well, he might be onto something here. With options in the middle and appeals for a penalty. But the referee says play on. The challenge is made by Holovko on Kalivanov.
Well, one of the few times that Ukraine have made a mistake, Derek, they give the ball away on their own attacking third of the field against them out on the far side. Here's the situation here. That's Minko coming in and taking Shevchenko out, but there was a rather dubious looking tackle in the area.
Just a moment, we'll update you on other happenings in Euro 2000 qualifying, but for the moment, Mickey Teen trying to take the bull by the horns again. Shevchenko trying to make the run, but they couldn't keep it in.
Oh, you're going to see the situation as the ball comes across into the box. Watch for the tackle coming in here. Does he take him down? I think he takes him down.
Olofko, the captain, with a challenge on Kolivanov.
I think the ball was gone, Derek, when he hit him.
Less than 2 minutes to go in first half play. Old-fashioned scrap for the ball. Shevchenko. Kicked it too far forward for his own good.
But I mean, the speed they have compared to the Russians, I mean, they can pick up 1.5 yards in about 25, 30 yards. The Russians not fit to keep with Shevchenko or Rebrov at all.
A lot of nationalistic fervor in the air tonight. This is the match Ukrainian fans have been pointing towards since the draw was made. And the players haven't disappointed them. An energetic, up-tempo, skillful first-half display. Dimitrulin.
Well, they want to make sure they go into the dressing room now with a 2-0 score.
And talking of scores, Tommy Smith, we mentioned earlier that England had the lead against Sweden. Well, look at that. The Swedes are now in front themselves.
Oh, we said it's 60 years since England won in Sweden, so that record might be still intact after the day.
In Group 3, that would be an upset. Moldova with the edge on Finland.
Oh, so many of these emerging nations now, Derek, coming up with good teams.
Don't forget to stay with us at halftime here on ESPN for our Euro 2000 glance as promised, plus the first half highlights. A look again at this explosive start made by the Ukraine. We're inside stoppage time, as you can see. Marcus Merck checking his watch. Dimitrulin with the throw. Vlaschuk. Olofko. Shavkovsky hasn't really been put under a lot of serious pressure in the first half. Referee having already checked his watch a couple of times.
I thought he was blowing the whistle, but
just urging the players to continue for the moment. I think they were convinced that it was halftime already. Not so. Can't imagine we'll have a significant amount of stoppage time, mind you.
Well, unless he's adding on a lot of time for celebrations for the goals.
There it is this time. The Ukrainians go to the dressing room with a sensational 2-goal lead. Popov and Skachenko doing the damage.
Oh, and richly deserved. I mean, they're unfortunate. It might have been one more on top of that, but Russia maybe should have had a call for a penalty. Ukraine has played very well in the first half, Derek.
A sparkling performance by the Ukraine against Russia in Euro 2000 qualifying Group 4. 2-0 the score at the end of 45 minutes. Back with more from Kiev in just a moment. The Ukraine this time attacking the goal to our left. We'll check to see if indeed Khalid Vintsev is in the lineup. Khalid Vintsev actually born in Russia but opted for the Ukraine. Anopko was the man who went down. Anopko lining up farther forward, it seems, at the start of the second half. Kanchelski's at the controls. Almost invisible in the first 45 minutes. Got to measure the free kick.
Well, I mean, all the Ukraine have to do now, Derek, is they've done enough to win this game. All they have to do is now sit back, make sure that they don't give the Russians any space. I mean, even in scoring 2 goals in the first half, they didn't allow them any space. So they should be in pretty good shape in the second half, just defending those 2 goals.
Varlamov was the man who defended that time. Will be a throw for the Ukraine to be taken by Yuri Dimitrulin. Rebrov jousting for it. And Khalid Vincent, it appears to me, is in the lineup. Mickey Teen, and for once, straight down the throat of Karin. Dmitry Karin, as we mentioned in the first half, plays in England with Chelsea. And a surprising decision to recall him to the Russian national team. Many people felt his days were over at this level.
Well, he had 4 or 5 keepers he could have chosen from. Cherkasky, everybody thought would get it, or
Jugainov.
It was a big surprise when they went for Karim. I think it'd be even a surprise to him, Derek.
As many players such as Karin been in the wilderness since a disappointing 1-1 draw in Cyprus during the World Cup qualifying campaign. There's Khalid Vincent, very influential player of Dynamo Kiev, who's in the center of midfield. As we mentioned, Russian-born.
Well, he decided to play with the Ukraine, which is very unusual. I mean, it was generally a question of the opposite way. But maybe he's picked the right side to be on.
Kovtun going up for the head challenge. This is Hussein. They love to come at them from the flanks. Kovalyov. Hussein. And the defenders get the job done. Ninko. Yoshev Sabo. Coach of the Ukraine. Watching fairly nonchalantly.
He doesn't look like a man that has a 2-0 lead, does he?
No.
The way he's reacting. Maybe he doesn't believe it just yet.
A long way to go, but the Ukraine, the team in command. That time Kovtun went across to meet Shevchenko. Little pat on the head. Kovtun of Dynamo Moscow. And there should be a card here. The German referee, Markus Merck, taking the notes of Kovtun. Here's why.
Well, you're going to see very close to the line. He just comes in underneath Shevchenko, and he actually gets him way out over the line, Derek, and the referee had no qualms about handing out that card.
That's the 3rd booking of the night, and the 2nd for Russia. Kovtun joining Yanovsky. That should be a free kick. No, referee says play on. Kovalyov took the tumble. Markus Merck from Germany, the man in charge. There's Kovtun, who was booked. Jugainov. Trying to feed it down for Kolivanov. What a quiet game he's had. Kovtun has a yellow card.
Well, they're going to try to push Kovtun forward. They've got to try to get everybody forward now. Onepko's pushing forward much more than he did in the first half, Derek. And they haven't been fit to get their key men involved. That's the big thing. The big 3, for my money, has been out of it. Kolivanov hasn't been able to get involved. Penchevsky's hasn't been able to get involved. And, you know, once you do that, you've done a good job. And Ilenichev just hasn't been able to run the midfield.
Throw taken by Mickey Teen. A little hopeful with the second effort downfield for Shevchenko to go after.
Oh, the one thing is those long-ranging balls down. It just runs time off the clock. This man has to be concerned at this stage, Derek.
52 years of age, Anatoly Bishevets. Rebrov. Tenacious little competitor, Sergei Rebrov. And Mickey Teen trying to drag it down the touchline.
Well, no great urgency on the Russians' part. Watch, look at. I mean, they're 2-0 behind. Would you know it? Not by the way they're reacting here. That's a foul throw.
Yeah, certainly suspiciously close to one. This time it goes the Ukraine's way. Hussein. This is Khalid Vintsev, the substitute. Rebrov burrowing in field. Serhii Rebrov. Shevchenko takes up position. Being shadowed all the way by the defenders.
Well, if Shevchenko had received the ball a little better, Derek, he was in on top of the keeper. Rebrov played it onto his left, and for some reason Shevchenko ended up trying to guide it with his right instead of being fit to step over the ball. Just took it a little bit awkwardly.
Minko beaten to the punch by the hard-working Hussein. Kanchelski's not a compelling factor in this game. Andrei Kanchelski's. It's this Ukrainian team so unfortunate not to make it to World Cup '98. A very tough group. Finished second to Germany. Overcame Portugal for second place, but then went down in a two-legged playoff to Croatia. So they had it within sight. Likewise, the Russians. Going out of the danger area again. Ivashchuk, and all the way through. Shavkovsky has it. Markus Merck, the man in charge. Handed out 3 yellow cards. It hasn't really, though, been a physical game, Tommy.
No, I mean, there was a lot of emotion coming into this, and we thought that it was emotion that might boil over on the field. But I think one of the Russians put it, he said, we're not enemies, he said, we're just good, friendly rivals. And I suppose that sums it up best when you're a professional football player, doesn't it?
I think many of the Russian players have a hard time imagining that this is, in fact, a foreign country that they're in. So it was part of the same country for 300 years, even though the Ukrainians have been fiercely nationalistic. And Dynamo Kiev was, for decades, the major sporting outlet for that nationalism. Now they have a national team of their own. Lead a state of their own. 8 minutes into the second half, it remains 2-0 in favor of the Ukraine in Euro 2000 qualifying Group 4. Khalid Vintsev, the long sprayer of the ball. Yuri Khalid Vintsev.
Oh, normally the captain would decide. I was very surprised he didn't get the start today, Derek, because he's a very, very dangerous player.
The trap that time by Mikitin. Shevchenko. Rebrov on the turn. They're coming at them from all angles now. And wide of the mark in the end. Wide of Dmitry Kharin. 2 balls on the field. Now just 1. Our Euro 2000 qualifying action continues live on Sunday with Bulgaria against Poland. And that is in Group 5. One of the toughest sections of all. That'll be played in the Black Sea resort city of Burgas. We'll be joined by Eddie Mighton for our coverage from Group 5. Bulgaria against Poland. Sweden and England also in that group. And when last we heard, the Swedes were leading 2-1.
Well, if you have to believe the reports coming out of Bulgaria, Stoichkov is back in favour, Derek. He's the big man again. I'm not sure after his performance in the World Cup he deserves it.
The Russians looking optimistically for a free kick.
Well, the Ukrainians just knocking the ball out of there, making sure that the Russians don't get a good, clear opportunity, and why not? But they do get a free kick just outside of the box.
Well, now they could be onto something. Kolivanov loves to strike the dead ball.
Well, we've seen him score many great goals in Italy.
Beside him is Olenichev. Also in Serie A these days with Roma. So a carefully placed Ukrainian wall. Very few chances to speak of for Russia. And it will be Igor Kolivanov. Inches wide. Not sure exactly how much Shavkovsky knew about it, Tommy.
I don't think he knew a whole lot about it because he reacted so late to it, but the fact that it didn't go into the net is all he's concerned about. Kolivanov struck it well, but there was too much curve on it. It just kept curving away from the target all the time. Watch when he takes the curve on it. It goes in the direction he's looking. See, it just swings away around the post.
2 goals inside a dramatic 10-minute spell. Still holding up for the Ukraine against Russia. This would really set the cat among the pigeons in this section.
I think the fact that the Ukraine doesn't meet France until 4 games into this competition, Derek, leaves them in good shape.
There's confirmation of our scoring situation. Popov and Skachenko with the 2 goals of record. Karin Dashigov is lined to grab that. Skachenko no longer in the match. He was replaced by Khalid Vintsev at the start of the second half. Gonchelski's for Russia. They all get tangled up. Onopko in there.
Well, Onopko trying to make his presence felt now as an attacker. You see, Gonchelski is not too unhappy, Derek. Surprising the day he's having. I mean, he's out there having a joke with some of the players on the field, the Ukrainians, having a laugh. So he doesn't look like he's all that upset about the way he's playing. And mind you, he hasn't had any more than about 4 touches on the ball the whole game.
Varlamov was battling that time with the dangerous Andriy Shevchenko. And he's very difficult to pin down, Shevchenko. Watch this again.
Well, you're going to see pushing and gets a grip of a jersey.
Khalid Vintsev will take the free kick. 13 minutes into the second half. Yuri Khalid Vintsev. Flashing header by Rebrov. And the clearance, Semak just booting it out of the danger area. Little flick by Ovalov trying to drive into heavy traffic. Out it comes again, Mikitin. And the Russian defenders getting the job done, but they badly need to get something going in an attacking sense. Onopko.
Well, it's not good enough now to be a good defensive team. They've got to become a good attacking team.
Very ambitious by Onopko, trying to find Kolivanov. Long raking pass. Ukrainian fans lapping this up. Khalid Vintsev and straight through to Karin.
Well, every second that's spent in this half of the field is a relief for the Ukraine, Derek. I mean, we've almost come to the hour mark at this stage, and Russia hasn't really showed any signs of awakening.
They really have lifted the Ukrainian national team all night long. Continuing in that fashion. Blast from Semak. Mikitin has given them a torrid time on this left flank and eventually stabbed out of play by Kovtun.
Oh, he's had a great game. Mikitin has been the star, just carrying the ball out of there.
Let us take the opportunity to update you on other matches in the second half. Georgia with a 1-0 lead thanks to a goal by Shota Arveladze against Albania. So 1-0 there. And in Group 3, Finland 2, Moldova 2. Good recovery by the Finns. They were trailing 2-1. And that's still in the first half. Well, by Johansson there. For Finland to tie it up. Bit of hesitation here. And so nearly a third goal for the Ukraine.
Oh, it should have been put home. Popov coming across the middle, Derek. Gets the... Watch the ball break to him. Takes it on the boot. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 Russian defenders. He should have ripped the top of the net with that one. Great opportunity as the ball breaks through. He nips through, takes the shot on the turn, and he just drives it up over the top.
Well, he scored once already tonight as Popov.
That should have been number 2, Derek. He won't get many better opportunities than that one.
Hussein driving his team on. trying to find Shevchenko. Onopko trying to hold this Russian team together.
Oh, it's one-way traffic at the moment, although they're going to get a free kick here. The Russians just not able to get involved.
Kolivanov riding around on the grass.
I mean, when you go back to Kolivanov, he had a terrible injury that looked like it was going to ruin his career. Remember the Russian coach talking about him saying, you know, when Kolivanov dribbles with the ball, my heart begins to sing. That's how talented he felt he was, but there's not much singing in the heart today. Let me tell you, Kolivanov in a Ukrainian sandwich there. Down he goes.
2-0 is the score. It's been that way since officially the 25th minute, according to our electronic scoreboard at the Olympsky Sports Complex. Anatoly Bichevets remained fairly calm despite everything.
Well, he's gotten up now, so that's a major change. He's down on the line now.
It's the fourth coach they've had in the last 6 years. Ivanov being worked on and swept away by the captain, Holovko. This is the scene here in Kiev. Euro 2000 qualifying, Group 4. Derek Ray, Tommy Smith with you, and those two goals, still the difference. Popov and Tkachenko for the Ukraine. First time these two teams have ever met. Kolivanov is back with us now.
Well, the Ukrainians, not a good play to be playing with your ball in your own box, Derek, but nevertheless, they're making it look so easy out there.
Khalid Vincent with a great pass. Shevchenko almost falling over his own feet. And to go against two very strong Russian defenders. Under pressure again. A passing out of defense on the part of Russia has left a lot to be desired.
Well, Shevchenko causing all kinds of problems, and of course it is a name that has caused all kinds of problems for the Russians. If you go back in history, the great poet Shevchenko was exiled by the Russians, so Shevchenko is a name that brings a lot of things to mind when you talk about Russia.
They failed to keep it in play that time. Substitution in the offing for Bichevets and the Russians. It's as though Alexander Mostovoy will come into the match. 30-year-old free kick specialist. Plays for Celta Vigo in Spain. And he takes the place of Alenichev, who really has been a big disappointment.
Well, Alenichev hadn't been able to get involved, Derek. Very, very few touches on the ball. We expected he was going to run the midfield. It hasn't worked out that way.
So Alenichev will watch the rest of the game from the bench. Mostovoy is in. It's a chance now to play in the center of midfield.
Oh, he's another player who hasn't played with them for a long time. I mean, so many of these players in the Russian team have been recalled after long absences, and I don't think it has worked out so well for them today.
They have been chopping and changing in recent build-up friendlies. Here's Mostovoy. Almost 20 minutes of the way into the second half. Can Russia make a game of this?
Well, the goal certainly would make a game of it if they could come up with it. They haven't really looked like that, but they're capable of it.
Mostovoy drifting wide to the left. Still Mostovoy, and he was doing the tugging. Free kick goes against Russia. Well, the captain, Holovko, in his own quiet way, has imposed himself on this game, in common with defenders such as Vasychuk, who's about to take this free kick. I hardly think of a save that Shavkovsky in goal has had to make. Have been a couple of chances created by Russia, but nothing that has directly involved Shavkovsky.
Nothing here in the second half at all, Derek.
It's a free kick by Kolivanov that went wide of the target. They're going to get a free kick here. Suspicion of a high boot by Vasychuk. And Mostovoy is standing now beside Kolivanov. Mostovoy, who replaced Alenichev, the Russian Player of the Year.
Oh, he just came in at the right time. They're going to let him hit the free kick. He is the free kick specialist.
See if they have a trick up their sleeve. They flick it back to Mostovoy, and there's the free header, and they're back in it. A brilliant header from close range in the end. Minko was the man, it looked like, who made the late run.
Well, you're going to see, we talked about the free kick specialist as the ball comes dropping inside into the box. The ball is knocked down into the back of the net.
Varlamov, I think, Tommy, was it?
Varlamov, I believe, the number 11 player, gets the header onto it right into the box, and there's the keeper left with no chance. Very, very bad marking by the Ukraine at the back. Give the Russians a life here. Coach looks like a genius now, bringing on the player who set the situation right.
It was Varlamov in the 67th minute. The big defender, and just like that, we have a brand new game.
With a long time to go.
The Ukrainians looking for the advantage again of 2 clear goals.
How important was Pavkov's miss now, Derek, the one where he cut inside of the box?
Varlamov, an unlikely hero for Russia. All came from that Mostovoy free kick.
Well, we talked about him in the first half wearing the number 11, but they had used him almost at the centre of defence, as you see him in the picture there, dropping back a lot of the time, trying to pick up Rebrov. He hasn't been able to run with him, but coming forward he did very well. Maybe he should be pushed forward with that number 11 on.
Now Bishevets out of the technical area at every opportunity. Nikitin.
Well, the first attacking opportunity that Russia got, Derek, and to put the ball in the net.
They took full advantage. I think questions will be asked about the inability of the Ukrainian defenders to pick up Varlamov. So 2-1 match now. Varlamov breathing new life into the Russian effort. I think they would have been very happy with a draw before a ball was kicked today. Joseph Sabo just watches the game. Haven't seen him shout too much or get up off his seat.
Well, I think if the Ukraine are to be pinned back to the draw, Derek, they'll consider it 2 points they've lost.
Euro 2000 qualifying on Monday here on ESPN. We'll take it in the match between Hungary and Portugal. Check your local listings. The Hungarians against the Portuguese from Group 7.
Well, many people feel that there's a revival on the way in Hungary, and this would be a good chance to prove it. I mean, Portugal, one of those teams that seem to always be in contention but never seem to get there.
And Upko with a good feed. And the chances on again for Russia. Pushed away by Shevkovsky, and the defenders do the rest. Now action spills over to the other end. Rebrov loves to attack from the flank. He'll have to make do with a corner kick.
Oh, you're going to see the keeper just gets a fist onto it, Derek. Little bit lucky here that the ball breaks out nicely to him.
Rebrov with the corner for the Ukraine. Varlamov, the man who scored the goal just a couple of minutes ago, back now defending for Russia. Well, it's end-to-end stuff here. Mostovoy running into trouble. First time these two countries have ever met on the football field. Chugainov for Russia. Looking for Kalivanov. The defenders looking a little more rattled now.
Well, they're certainly not as composed as they were, Derek, and the Russians are starting to find their way onto the ball. And
that's Valery Karpin, 29-year-old, who, like Mostovoy, plays for Celta Vigo in Spain. This will be his third cap if he comes in. And the number 8 is being held high in the air. That's not a surprise. Kanchelski's has had a very poor match.
Yeah, he certainly hasn't been able to get involved I mean, you could see that he had kind of, you know, he wasn't all that interested at times, and there was no supply of the ball for him. Well, Karpin vowed that he'd never play under this coach again, but got a recall after that fiasco that happened with him in Cyprus, Derek, and now here he's back on the field again. So I guess politics and football make strange bedfellows.
And certainly there's been a lot of talk about politics in connection with this match. Many people on the Russian camp trying to use this occasion to deflect attention away from the political crisis in Moscow. President Boris Yeltsin said to be watching this closely and appeals for a penalty. Rebrov went down.
Should be.
And this could be trouble for Karin. Yes, a red card. And he could have no complaints. A penalty kick. And the early bath for Dmitry Karin.
And you're going to see why. This is a terrible play back by the defender, and the keeper's coming out. He takes the player down. I mean, he cuts him down. Rebrov is coming through, trying to get onto the ball that's not at back. The keeper makes contact with him, knocks him down, takes him down in the area. Should be a penalty call and a red card. He denies him a goal-scoring opportunity. That means it's a red card. Hasta la vista, baby. Karin out of here.
This wasn't the return to international football that Dmitry Karin was hoping for. A penalty kick then coming up for the Ukraine. The Russians will try to get Stanislav Cherchezov into the match, the backup goalkeeper, the 35-year-old who plays in Austria with FC Tirol.
Oh, he was the man who knocked Karin out of the job, and it became his job, and then he was involved in that fiasco in Cyprus. He lost his job. Now Karin goes out, and he's going to get the chance to come in again, and it'll be a question of who are they going to take off. It looks like they're
Semak, I think. Yeah. Semak, the number 6, leaves the match so they can get the reserve goalkeeper in.
Shevchenko may take this, give him an opportunity to score. No, Rebrov.
Yeah.
He was the man who was pulled down, so why not? Keeper wants a touch of the ball before. Hey, let me get a feel of what this thing feels like. Yeah, I'll take it in here for a walk.
Stanislav Cherchezov will try to deny Rebrov. This could put it out of reach. Rebrov for the Ukraine, yes! 3-1.
Well, it had to be perfectly hit because the keeper guesses right. He keeps it along the ground. He keeps it wide of the keeper, and there's a lot of power on it. This is a well-placed penalty kick. Almost a brilliant save by the keeper just coming into the game, Derek. He almost gets his hand to it, just doesn't quite.
And for Serhii Rebrov, goal number 9 at international level. That makes him unofficially the top goal scorer in the history of the Ukrainian national team, surpassing Timirlan Husseinov, previously tied with him. And now the Russians depleted, down to 10 men and deflated.
Well, now they've got a real problem. They're down by those 2 goals again. It looked like everything was coming up roses for them to get themselves back into the game. And I suppose you might say against the run of play, Derek, it looked like nothing was happening. All of a sudden they got a free kick that ended up in the back of the net. But Ukraine are definitely back in control now.
Mostovoy. So jockey for position inside the penalty area. No award that time.
Oh, that looked suspicious in there as well. It looked like the Ukrainian player had committed a foul in the box.
Kovalyov feeding it back. Hussein. So we check our scoring situation. Rebrov with a penalty goal in the 74th minute, restoring the 2-goal cushion for the Ukraine. And they're preparing to celebrate 3 points here in Kiev.
Well, the party will go on long into tonight if they manage to get these 3 points. It's not so much the fact that it's 3 points, it's a good start to their campaign, but hey, the old enemy is beaten.
This is Karpin, the substitute. On to measure the accurate cross. Nikitin Certainly the hero of the first half has been a little quieter since the start of the second, but influential. Certainly a word that can describe his performance. Mostovoy trying to work the combination. Is there any way back for Russia now? Have to think it's very much against the odds. The tackles coming in crisply now for the Ukraine. And this match has been so important to the Ukrainian nation. Certainly viewed in that context since the draw was made. And the cross too high and a little too hopeful. Yarovsky was the man who got it in. And through it goes for the goal kick.
No, he wasn't for to keep it in play at all. And in fairness to Karine, you have to feel he's a little bit unfortunate, Derek. A mistake by the defender knocked the ball back into the box. Karine had nothing to do when he go for it. And the Ukrainian player kept on running, and that's how he got taken down. But I couldn't really blame Karine for the way he played. If he gets the ball, he's a hero. If he doesn't get it, he gets a red card. That's what it comes down to.
He, of course, will now miss the next game. Here they come again. Shevchenko. No takers. Cherchesov, the goalkeeper, had to go out and meet him.
Oh, he did well. He didn't allow him anything to shoot it, and Shevchenko was pushed deep towards the byline. Couldn't get it in from that angle, and there was nobody in support. You don't have to be if you're 2 goals in front. Watch Shevchenko slip in behind. He lets it run off his shoulder. The keeper comes out. Here's this shot at trying to put it in from that angle. No way he's going to score from there.
There's the chip this time. Attempted by Kolivanov, but straight down the throat of Alexander Shovkovsky.
Oh, I thought history was going to repeat itself, because the last time that the Ukraine missed a good opportunity with Popov, Russia came back and scored, and I thought it was on again.
Well, this has been highly entertaining stuff. Blistering opening by the Ukraine, as they promised, and as the Russian coach Anatoly Bishevets anticipated. They really haven't let their guard down since then, with the exception of a 10-minute spell midway through the second half, during which time the Russians, albeit temporarily, hauled themselves back into contention.
Well, I think it was a case of the Ukraine taking the foot off the pedal a little bit, Derek, and something you shouldn't do, and I'm surprised that they did. I thought they would have the killer instinct, that they would keep pushing ahead to try and blow the Russians out of here, but they didn't do that, and almost cost them the little inexperience. I mean, they've only, played about 17 or 18 games, so there's a little bit of inexperience at international level. The one thing you cannot do at international level is you can't allow a team back into it, because there's so little between any of these teams that if you get an advantage, you've got to try to hold it.
Andrei Husin, 25-year-old midfielder, trying to unleash Khalid Vintsev, and there's the drive, a corker of a shot. Revrov was following up after great work by Khalid Vintsev, and what a beauty that would have been.
Oh, he pulled it back from the byline. Look at this, back into the middle, and watch the shot. I mean, this was a rasper off the top of the crossbar. Keeper, he's looking. Where did that go? All I seen was a white blur passing me. If it goes down underneath the crossbar, there's no question about what happens to it. Instead, it just skids off the crossbar. Would have been a brilliant goal, Derek. Great attempt.
Make no mistake, this will be an interesting group, given the presence of these two countries and France. And only one team assured of a place in Euro 2000. Only the best overall second-place team will make it. And then the other runners-up will have to go into the playoffs. Now with the touchline it goes. And Mostovoy gets into position to take the Russian throw. Harpine is available. One made by Yarovsky as well, of Paris Saint-Germain. Inside the final 10-minute spell. Couldn't have scripted this much better from the Ukrainian point of view if you tried. Khalid Vintsev, inviting ball. Husin was making the run, but Cherchesov read it well. Let us bring you up to date on the scores elsewhere. That's a final in Group 8. The Irish with a 2-0 victory over Croatia. 3 priceless points. The Scots will be disappointed with that goalless draw in Vilnius. Group 9. Armenia in this section, Group 4, getting the job done against Andorra. And the Georgia-Albania match is a final, so Arveladze's goal holds up there in Group 2. 1-0 over Albania. And the Finns coming from behind to take the lead against Moldova. That's the latest score, 3-2 in Group 3. Many more matches to come, including Iceland-France, live from Reykjavik here on ESPN. Certainly an exciting weekend in store. This is only the beginning of our Euro 2000 qualifying coverage. A slippery Rebrov, but Opko goes back. 8.5 minutes to go, Tommy.
Well, you just feel with two players like Shevchenko and Rebrov, the more experience to get, Derek, the more games to get under the belt, the better they're getting. And this could turn out to be a very formidable side before it's all over.
And Opko has it for Russia. Karpin. The Russians just haven't displayed an abundance of ideas in the course of this game. Very flat performance in the first 25 minutes, and they might look back and say that that was what cost them dear. Mostovoy. Slightly better feed as it goes back again to Shovkovsky via Mikitin.
Mikitin just cleaning up at the back. It's all they have to do now, run the string out. About 7 minutes left, whatever he adds on.
A rare shout from Mr. Sabo.
Yeah, he's been strangely quiet all day, hasn't he?
And he's saving his words and celebrations for the post-match portion. Karpin. Kovalyov trying to scrape it downfield. And it's only Bishevets watching intently. But this wasn't the way it was supposed to start for his team. And so tricky with Bishevets and a couple of the other players returning to Kiev where they grew up. With mixed emotions even before a ball was kicked. And trying to put that to one side.
Oh, I don't think they managed to do that, Derek. I mean, the Russians looked a little bit flat at the start of the game, like there was something on their mind besides football.
Olovko, the captain, was steering that out of play after a bad touch by Mostovoy. 6.5 minutes left to go. And what a start to the section this would be for the Ukraine. Really make the French sit up and take notice. These counterattacks really are a joy to behold. So much pace, so much trickery involved. Rebrov and Shevchenko, awkward customers for opposing defenders.
I mean, they're very adept at going back into their own end of the field and picking up the ball, and they have so much pace that they can run at defenders and make it work. It almost worked there, except that it just happened to hit Shevchenko on the heel. Had he been fit to receive it properly, that's the second time if he had been fit to receive it properly, Derek, he would have had a great chance.
Mostovoy.
Look at that for a tackle.
Yes, Hussein going in. Another man who really has earned his stripes today. Brazilian football, that comes your way tonight here on ESPN from the city of Sao Paulo. We'll bring you Palmeiras against the slumping Flamengo team. We'll see if they can rebound tonight here on ESPN. Brasileiro. Just over 5 minutes left. Mostovoy carves out a free kick for the Russians. They're down to 10 men, remember. You've recently joined us, Dmitry Karin, having been red-carded for his part in that penalty award. Rebrov carving it out and scoring from the spot in the 74th minute. So Cherchesov between the posts now. He replaced Semak. Kolivanov beside Mostovoy. And it will be Igor Kolivanov. A couple of players slipped on the part of the Ukraine. The long drive by Kolivanov. Just too much elevation, and a goal kick it is.
Oh, not even close, and you get good opportunities like that. You cannot afford to squander them just like the Russians did. That was an opportunity. Should have at least put pressure on the keeper. They did nothing with it.
The Russian players will want to take a good look at this performance again, see where they went wrong. Let us update you on the Sweden-England situation, that match in Group 5. It's still 2-1 Sweden, but Paul Ince of England has been sent off in the 66th minute. So England a goal down and a man down as well.
It turned out to be quite a day for an Irishman. Ireland winning and England losing.
Indeed. You can see the Ukrainians are going to go to the bench again. Looks as though Valery Kriventsov of Shakhtar Donetsk will come into the match to replace Kovalyov. Just trying to make that switch now. Kovalyov, who was the first player booked in this game, departs the scene now. Kriventsov is in.
Just putting in a set of fresh legs at this stage. They want to make sure they don't create any problems at the back for themselves.
A quick free kick, and they bundle it over the line again.
Looks like a knockoff.
An off-call, the defender joined the attack. A defensive breakdown, and would you believe it, the Russians are still alive.
Well, you should never bring a man in on a set piece to tell you, look at, and Upco gets in behind everybody and just gets a touch on it. That's twice now from set ball situations that the ball has been pushed into the net, and the Russians coming back here down a man, but now only down a goal. The Ukraine are going to hang on.
And Upco was right beside Kolivanov. They were both going for the ball together. So 3-2 now. And a foul by Upco quite clearly. Just hauling Dimitrulin down. Viktor Onopko, the man of the moment for Russia. They're playing with only 10 men. We have just over 2 minutes left. What a fine, entertaining match this has been to start our Euro 2000 qualifying coverage here on ESPN.
Oh, we can just hope that the rest of them will be like this, Derek. If they are, there's going to be a lot of good soccer.
Over the top by Popov.
Я забыл Виктор Онопко, номер 7.
And time is of the essence now for Cherchezov. Stay with us for our post-match wrap. We'll dissect all the angles, all the talking points. There have been many, including that Karin red card for Russia. It came at a critical point in the game. You could argue that the Russians were making inroads at that juncture. The game delicately balanced at 2-1. Look at this run, Shevchenko, and Khalid Vintsev is there, trying to return the favor to Shevchenko. Khalid Vintsev, and wayward in the end. Well, that would have been the opportunity to finally put the game away. 1 minute left, plus stoppage time. 3-2, that should read. Shevchenko, bobbing and weaving. Took a deflection. He'll try to get the corner kick out of that.
Well, that runs off precious time on the clock as we approach the 90 minutes. And you can be sure that the Ukraine are not going to be in any hurry to take this corner, Derek. And then it'll turn out to be a case of how much time is going to be added on. Ukraine trying to hang on desperately here in the end.
Rebrov has come over to the near side to take the corner kick.
Well, they've had many heroes, and he's certainly one of them today, Derek.
So here Rebrov, and the flashing header. Almost another goal. Took a deflection off one of the Russian players. Popov it was who went up to rise for the challenge.
Oh,
you're going to see if the ball comes flashing across. Double deflection on the header. Oh, the referee's not happy with something, Derek.
We are inside stoppage time. Rebrov again for the Ukraine. Cherchezov stays on his line. Very messy inside the box. I couldn't quite find Popov. This is Mostovoy. Popov did well to get it back. Serhiy Popov. Rebrov.
Just wouldn't fall for him, would it?
Couldn't quite control it. But he needed to. Kalidvintsev. Nikitin plays it back to the center of defense. Vasyuk.
Whistles all around the stadium, but none from the referee.
Almost 1 minute added on as that move comes to a screeching halt. Kuznetsov playing the errant ball. The stadium here in Kiev is about to erupt.
Or go silent, one or the other. The Russian score, you'll hear a pin drop in this place. Oh, surely he fouled him.
And as the decision, Shevchenko with a piece of illegal play.
Oh, I'm not sure if they're going to go by the World Cup rules where 30 seconds for a substitute. There's quite a bit of time to be added on yet.
A lot of space afforded Rebrov here. The measured pass, and there's no defense to speak of. Shevchenko teasing and tormenting, trying to lay it back. And there's the drive! Almost a fourth goal. Popov was supporting. Made a good run off to the right.
Oh, the referee's making him take it again. He said the ball was rolling, was outside of the 6-yard box. Really well set up here by Rebrov. Takes a while for the support to get here. Should have done better. He had the measure of it, and he goes for that back post, and you see it skate through your living room.
There's a word I haven't heard for a while. The verb to skite. 2.5 minutes into stoppage time. The Ukraine 3, Russia 2. It's been an end-to-end second half.
Oh, the referee's the man of attention at the moment, isn't he?
Shavkovsky just urging everyone forward. Using up a few more valuable seconds. All eyes on the German referee, Markus Merck. Shevchenko. Kalidvintsev. Nikitin. Works his way out to Shevchenko again. It's the very tired Russian defense. That was a dive, says the referee. Maybe one last chance for the Russians to get forward. Karpi. Nikitin for the Ukraine. Shevchenko. Sensibly keeping hold of the ball, using Nikitin. And back now to Vasyuk.
Oh, the Ukrainians very cool under a bit of pressure here. The referee's gone 3.5 minutes now, Derek. Can't go much longer, can he? He's looking at the watch again.
All eyes on Markus Merck. He's glanced at his watch several times. There he is again. They're asking, when will he blow the final whistle? Well, there's the answer. A famous victory this for the Ukraine. The first ever meeting of these two countries. And the home team comes out on top against Anatoly Bishevets and his Russian team. 3-2 the final score. This was thrilling all the way. Back with more from Kiev after the break.